Hey, you guys, and welcome to season 2 of Tea Time with Dagan. I'm so excited that we are having another season come on, and it's going to be a little different this season. We have video, so you'll be able to watch that on YouTube, and I will still be coming in through Apple and Spotify as well. I'm super pumped for the guests that will be on here this season and can't wait to hear what you guys think. So grab your tea and kick back and relax and enjoy this season with me and my friends. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I have a friend with me today, Katrina. She is here because she has started her own business with a friend of hers. And I'm just excited to ask her. I told her before we started recording, like, it's just going to be like us chatting. And I'm just going to, a lot of these questions are for me because I really want to know. But it's a very unique, very cool business they've started. But like more than that, a calling from the Lord, which is like the most important thing. And having him walking with you in this. I can't wait to hear like everything you have to say. But first, let's tell people, I guess, how we know each other.
Yeah. Okay.
Our husbands are State Farm agents. So this is like the second State Farm wife I've had on the podcast. So it's Katie.
Yeah.
And then now you.
It's so exciting. It's such an awesome community.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. I'm so thankful for it.
Our little group. I'm like, I love when we all can go together, like go on trips together. It's just so fun.
A year ago, we were in Hawaii right now.
We were.
Our husbands earned a trip through State Farm and we were in Hawaii. It was amazing.
Yes. And me and you went to that local restaurant.
Oh, so good.
That was so good. Because your friend told you about it.
Yes. And then we did.
Oh my gosh. That
yoga.
was so good. Yes. We did do yoga. I was like, this is our life right now. We're doing yoga by the ocean in Hawaii. Like,
talk about a blessing.
Yes.
That was such a blessing.
That was a blessing.
Oh, it was a great
It was
trip.
so relaxing.
Yes.
That girl was ripped.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, holy crap. Because there was like a boot camp option, but we were like, nah, we're just going to do the yoga.
Do yoga. And I went up to her after. I'm like, tell me what you do. Because this is not what you're doing.
You did. But what does she do? She just does
aerial yoga.
What about that?
Aerial yoga. How cool.
She was ripped.
She was.
That was crazy. That was so fun. God, forget about that.
It was a dream. It was a dream.
It was. But that was a fun trip. So we got closer through them.
Yes.
And then now we just like try to have dinner or lunch or something like a lot more frequent. It's just been fun.
And our husbands are good friends.
They are. They're like a little small group.
I know. It's really sweet.
I know. So I love that. They were apparently hating on each other yesterday because Charlie didn't come because he had something to do. Somebody else didn't come. They had something. And Morgan's like, I'm just trying to get y'all closer to Jesus and nobody will. I was like, Morgan! He was joking. But I was like, oh my gosh. Just the way boys talk. But anyway.
That's hysterical.
But we love you guys. I'm excited that you were okay with being on this.
Absolutely.
Some people I feel like I've had to harass to get on here, but I'm like, Katrina's like just so easygoing, natural talker with me. So I love it.
Anytime I get to spend with you.
I know. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Katrina Hamm, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I actually, I grew up, my dad was government, but civilian. So we kind of moved around a lot until I was in the 3rd grade. So I grew up in Marietta, Georgia. But my entire family, this is kind of unique, lives in Wichita, Kansas, or around Kansas. So that is like my heart and soul is in Kansas. So if you ask me where home is, I'm going to say Kansas because my sister's there, her 4 kids are there, my aunts, my cousins, and I love them. Like they're my heart. Mm-hmm. So they're there. But my husband and I met at the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. Mm-hmm. And now we've settled in Huntsville, Alabama, and we have 3 kids. We have a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 4-year-old. So 2 girls and a boy. So
they were all wonderful. They're so cute and wonderful kids. They really are.
Thank you. I'm trying. Mm-hmm. They're sweet, and I feel very blessed that I get to be their mom every single day. I really do. I mean, it's exhausting. And they're a lot, but I love being their mama. And that is kind of like part of the Home Sparkl.
Okay.
Is I wanted a job where I could pick up my kids from school.
Yes.
And the older they get, I realize that time is so valuable with picking picking them up from school. I mean, they get in the car and you can tell immediately how their day is. You have like that 15-minute window of, did they have a good day? Were their feelings hurt?
Yeah.
You know, they're they show their emotions so much, and that was so important to me that whatever I did, whatever job it was, I wanted to pick up my kids from school.
I love that. Well, that's a perfect segue into talking about it. So it's called, her business is called the Home Sparkl.
It is.
And the people that work for you guys are called sparklers, which is the
sparklers.
cutest thing. I was like, I love that so much. So tell us like how y'all came up with the name, and then just whatever the story behind.
Well, I guess I'll kind of explain what it even is.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Home Sparkl is, it's not an actual, well, it is a company, but I do not hire anyone. I allow them to use the platform. It is a platform. It is basically a gateway to connect homeowners to task workers to complete everyday tasks, from, laundry to organizing to actual household cleaning to, hey, I just really want someone to tidy up my kids' playroom because I don't have time. Yeah. Manage my kids' clothes, manage the closets. I mean, I feel like as moms, we're so overwhelmed all the time. And that mental load sometimes is almost unbearable of, okay, everybody has that room where you just shut the door and walk away. Because taking that one step seems so overwhelming, right?
Even that one closet.
Yes, that
and
one
all
closet.
y'all know.
Absolutely.
Y'all all have one.
You have
no
one.
judgment.
And you just, I mean, y'all, this is why I'm not good at anything on the Home Sparkl. Like, I have to tell people that. I'm not a professional organizer. I needed it, so I created it. I saw the need for just to make it better, right? Like, how can someone make this closet better? I don't need it perfect, but I needed help. I just needed help organizing my closet.
I love that. Yeah.
So anyways, so it's a platform, and basically I interview, background check, and allow companies and individuals to be connected to homeowners through the platform.
Okay, so that's cool. So everybody gets background checked.
Yes, everybody is background checked. Now, I will say, if they're a company, I don't always background check every single employee because I can't afford to do that. That's so expensive.
Yeah.
And they have their own like regulations and liability and But
if it's an individual,
every individual is background checked, and I have met every individual that is on Home Sparkl. So we are actually in Nashville too. So if they're in Nashville, Carly has met them.
Okay.
Now,
so Carly is your business.
Carly is my business partner.
Okay.
So that's another cool story too.
Yeah.
So Carly is my best friend from the 6th grade.
Oh my goodness, are you serious?
If you know Katrina, you know Carly. Like, if you know Carly, you know Katrina. Like, we are one and the same. However, we are polar opposite. Like, she is type A and she gets stuff done, and I am, if we travel together, like, she's the one that's like, Katrina, we gotta be at the gate, we gotta be there 5 minutes early, but we might have time to get a Starbucks. And I'm like, ooh, there's a Starbucks, then go find our gate. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I knew if I could convince Carly to do the Home Sparkl with me, that it would be successful. Like, she is the smartest person I know. She gets things done, and she fills in all the places that all the holes. She fills them in.
Yeah, that's a perfect partnership
It is.
To be able to be cohesive like that.
Well, and also, you have, like, if you start a company with someone, you have to talk to them all day, every day. Yeah. I talk to her more than almost my husband because we're trying to figure things out, work through different ideas. Hey, this client is asking for this. Do you think that we can handle that? And if I didn't have her to talk to every day, one, I would lose my mind, but two, like, you've got to be able to have that balance. Yeah. And that, I don't know, like, there's not very many people I can talk to as much as I talk to Carly.
But that's a smart choice. If, like you said, I mean, you have to talk to them all the time. You have to have the hard conversations, and especially since y'all have known each other for that long. I mean,
and sometimes she'll have an idea, and I'm like, I'm not going to tell her that's not good. Like, that's just not a good idea. And she constantly tells me, because I'm the idea person, and I have a
You
really,
are.
I have
Yeah.
a really hard time bringing it in and narrowing it down to, well, what do I need to do today to accomplish my next task? That's very hard for me. I'm like, I see big picture. I want to do it all, and I want it done quick. Like,
Yeah.
I'm stubborn, and I want instant gratification.
That's funny. Yeah. So she's like, rein it in.
Every day. When we talk to our software developers, they sometimes have to mute me, and I like raise my hand to speak.
Katrina, that's hilarious.
I know. But
that's good. You need a dreamer on the team, you know?
Yes. And they're always like, we have to build and then learn. And then, like, we'll modify things as how this started and where it's going is truly Jesus. I mean, it is absolutely the craziest, organically happening business. Which does that even make sense?
Yes. How did it? So you had the idea, because I remember you told us at like Christmas.
So okay, it's kind of a long story, but I'll start. Okay, so in October we were going to the beach, and I have been a stay-at-home mom. Let me just back up a little bit. Okay, I was a teacher, and I taught up until my older daughter. I was pregnant with my second child. So my older daughter, Maddox, who's 10, had a severe speech delay. And we thought she had something called apraxia. And it's basically her mouth and brain just don't align sometimes. And I knew that I was going to have to do a lot of highly like intervention, with her. So I'd been praying about staying at home, which that's another God story. And I just knew putting her in daycare was horrible. It was really, really hard on me as a mom.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't cohesive with her because she couldn't communicate with anyone. So it was just really a hard time. And thankfully at the time, my husband's boss basically told him, like, give me a number for Katrina to stay at home because I know how overwhelmed you are.
That's amazing.
Yes, he was truly and is such a part of her story. He's passed away, but Scott will forever be like a hero in my eyes. So anyway, so I had Kate, our second daughter, and I'd always taught, and then here I am staying at home with two little girls and having to pay for childcare to take Maddox to speech therapy 3 times a week because I wasn't going to take my baby, because I sat in the room so I could learn to do these things with her at home. Right. And I had always, and then on top of that, okay, we're paying for speech therapy, which is very expensive, and our insurance, it was all out of pocket. So because we had to do private speech therapy, so that was hard. That was a huge, burden to take on. Now I will tell you, now it is totally Jesus, but Maddox sings all day long, every day, and sometimes I'm wondering about my prayers that were answered. So she's great. But all that to be said, at the time, I would have done anything if I could have made just a little bit of income, right? Like if I could have just worked 2 days a week to make $200 extra, that would have covered her speech therapy. Yeah. So, but where are you going to find a job like that? Yeah. Where does that even exist? So then, at being a teacher, I also have a dyslexia certification, which I got because I thought it would help Maddox. Yeah. There's a lot of things that kind of like coincide, and it's called Orton Gillingham, and it's basically just it's a way to teach reading. So I would tutor. I would do that on the side. But the problem with that is when the kids need tutors after school. Well, that's when I had my children. Okay, so fast forward. So basically, I've been a stay-at-home mom for 8 years, which is the biggest blessing. It is hard. I will never, ever take the time, for granted, or that is such a precious part of time. Yeah. But it was hard. And I knew that went forward. So Ford, my 4-year-old, is going to pre-K next year. We've already decided. And I knew that if I did not have something outside of being a mom, I was going to have a really hard time because that's all I've known for 8 years.
Yeah.
And I just started really praying about my purpose. And I thought maybe my purpose was to go back as a teacher. You know, I didn't know. But I just was like, okay, Lord, like, what can I do that's bigger than me? Like, how can I use you to guide me, to show me, like, what is my purpose? Why? What am I going to do when Ford goes to school? I mean, I already was like kind of internally panicking about him going to pre-K. And I was like, okay, I want to do something. And he just, so it started as a cleaning app. So there's a lot of inconsistencies with cleaning, which, you know, it's all word of mouth. You know, your cleaner comes every other Tuesday at 10 a.m. Well, sometimes they don't get there till 12. And I was just always kind of frustrated by the way that system worked. But the more research that I did and the more I dug into cleaning, everybody's able to find a cleaner. Right? Like you could call your friend like, hey, do you have someone that cleans your house?
Yep.
Can you recommend them? But what I wasn't able to find was someone to organize my closet. So then I started just asking my friends that work, like, what overwhelms you the most? Well, they all have their cleaners. Like they all were like, well, I have a cleaner, but what I don't have is someone that could maybe come in and just do the things that take the most time.
Yeah. And
so laundry. Like laundry takes a lot of time. And if you're not home, it's not that you can't do laundry. We can all do laundry. It's your time. And time is our greatest asset. Yeah. So on the weekends, what do you want to do with your time? Do you want to deep clean your fridge? Do you want to do the laundry? You know, my husband pays for someone to come mow the grass. It's not because he can't do it. Right?
Yeah.
It's time. He doesn't want to spend his free time because it's so precious. Like that is the one thing that I am truly kind of fascinated with is time. And what people spend their time doing is very interesting. You know?
Yeah.
So that's the two sides of the Home Sparkl. So I call Carly and I'm like, hey, I got this idea and I'm going to tell you I'm going to do it. Are you in or are you out? And I kind of like did it because I knew. She was like, well, I want you to do it without me. Like I kind of peer pressured her into it, like FOMO. I'm like, all right. And so I was like, okay. And we kept going back and forth of, okay, how is this going to work? Do we want to just create a company? And I was like, no, I want women. I looked around all my friends and I'm like, gosh, they are amazing and they have these gifts. How can they have a platform to showcase their gifts, to serve others? I mean, that's what we were created to do.
Yeah.
And that's where the Home Sparkl came from, because a sparkle is a light, it is a blessing. And I want people to be able to use those gifts to serve others, to use those to bless someone else. And also a sparkle spreads, right? Like it's not just one little spark in the sky. And and it is, I mean, it's really kind of lame, but
it is not lame. It's so cool.
Well, but if I bless you with the gift of you get to come home after working all day and you don't have to worry about the laundry and you don't have to worry about the dishes or wiping down the counters or putting away the kids' clothes, that's going to bless you. And then in return, you're going to be a better mom. You're going to be a better wife. You're going to be a better friend. That's one less thing in your headspace as a mom that you're going to have to worry about.
Yeah, because the list is long.
Yeah, and I will say, you know, so starting out, I called. So basically, I was like, okay, let me think of some other platforms that I really admire. And one of them was Wendy, and it's a babysitting app. It started in Birmingham, and what I liked about Wendy is it wasn't just it didn't seem like just anyone could get on Wendy because you had to be a college student in order to babysit. So there was already kind of a level of trust there because, you know, kids in college are a little more mature than high school. And And so I just really studied Wendy, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to figure out who developed the Wendy app. I'm going to find them. Well, I just, so in my prayer the whole time was, okay, God, if I'm not supposed to do this, if this isn't what I'm supposed to do, just don't open the doors.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because the scariest thing that you ever do is just trying. Like, just taking that first step. Because you feel naked on a stage.
Yes.
You know, just, is anyone even going to see the need? Is anyone even going to want to do this? Is anyone going to believe in me? And I thought, okay, God, well, I call Tommy Mayfield, and he answers the phone. And he talks to me for 2 hours, and he's like, okay, I think this is great.
Wow.
But if he wouldn't have answered the phone, like if he wouldn't, or if he would have said, I think you're crazy. You know, like, I mean, he could have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he could have.
Terrible
idea. It's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
He could have said that. I don't know.
How did you find him?
Okay, so a podcast.
That is so cool.
I mean, and that's one thing that I've realized.
I mean, you can really find anyone.
Exactly. You can find anyone. And you can find anything you need to know. I have taught myself every single thing I know from podcasts, from books, from the internet. I mean, then it is out there. I mean, you get on AI and ask how to make dinner tonight. I mean, you can find out how to do these things. It's just, are you going to take that first step? Are you going to do it?
And just the drive behind it was like, so I love like the drive behind it. Your why is like giving moms an opportunity, giving not just moms, people an opportunity to do these like task-oriented jobs, quick money, easy money, but also like blessing another mom or someone in need, or like we were just talking about before we recorded, one of our mutual friends, they like paid for a sparkler, you said, like their small group paid for somebody to go in and clean a house, or?
So, so I have a friend whose husband had a really major surgery, and his recovery was a lot. They have 3 young kids, and I just called her and I said, hey, your small group has paid X amount. What do you want us to do? Like, what is overwhelming you? What burden can we take off of your plate?
That's amazing.
You know, because the meals are coming in, and and she said she loves to entertain, and she was like, you know, I've just been shoving all my entertaining dishes in this one closet, and I can't really see what I want to use when I entertain and cook, and so we just went in and totally reorganized that. And
that's awesome,
and it's fun. Like, it is so fun doing some of these jobs. We've helped a couple people pack and unpack for a move.
Oh, cool.
Which that's hard.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I don't really want to get into that space, but if you're home, because the hardest part is, okay, what am I going to take? What am I going to purge? What am I not going to take? You know, I mean, that's
So y'all do, and I remember you were like telling us at Christmas, like y'all, you know, do the cleaning, do the organizing, lawn care, right? Are y'all doing that?
No, not yet. I would love to. I mean, I want to be the Etsy of tasks. Like, what is your gift that you can use to bless someone else and serve someone else? And that, I mean, that's just it. Like, sparkles are all shapes and sizes, and what you need help with and what I need help with are probably 2 different things.
Yeah.
You know, I think about like birthday parties. How great would it be if someone did the banner, did the balloons?
Yes.
And people love that. That is their gift. Like Christmas time too. We really are looking for people that want to help do Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
Decorating people's Christmas trees. We're doing a job this weekend for a dinner party, and they were like, I want to enjoy the dinner party. I want to be able to sit. I want to be able to not worry about reheating the food, and is enough food out on the buffet, and refilling glasses. And that's the thing with all of these tasks. They're not going to go away. They're not.
Yeah.
And even if they do kind of go away, you're still going to want a person to do them.
Yes. I mean, it's genius, like just the whole like concept behind it. So I do want you to talk about the Share a Sparkler or Share a Sparkl.
Okay.
What is it?
Share a Sparkl. Okay. So when Carly and I first started talking about this, our main is like, well, okay, we weren't saying we were a faith-based company, but truly, like, Jesus is like this on my heart that I've got to create a platform for women to showcase their gifts and skills, but also for people to get help.
Yeah.
A safe place to get help when you need it, and that could be every week, that could be once a year. I mean, you don't know.
Yeah.
And that was, but then I went to Carly and I was like, okay, but this is a faith company. Like, we are faith-based, and like, there's a mission behind the Home Sparkl. And so we kind of just talked about different ideas, and I was like, well, one way that we really could, just bless people is just nominate people to get sparkled, once a month. Now we knew exactly who we were going to choose. Her name's Rochella. She is truly the hands and feet of Jesus. Her story is remarkable, and I hope that I can be a fraction of. I've never even met Rochella, but I've prayed for her for years. She has fostered several children. She's adopted, I believe, 2 or 3. I don't want to get it wrong. Maybe 4 actually, but they all have medical needs.
Okay.
But she is just, those kids are joy, and the joy that she just shows those children. We were like, we just want to do something for her. And I think that's another part of Sparkl is sometimes you just don't know how to help someone.
Yes.
And so we sent one of our favorite sparklers, Janelle, just to her house. And we're like, does this date work for you? Where you're going to show up and you tell us what you want done. And so so every month you can go to our website and you can nominate someone to be sparkled.
That's so cool. I love that, though. I like that you're using it as like a mission field too. Because that was one thing I was going to ask you was like, how do you guys use this, as your mission field, as your ministry? And I think that's like super evident of just being able to like give, somebody that gift every month. I think that's great.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, it's awesome. I mean, knowing that you're helping someone gives you such fulfillment.
It does. Yeah.
And so just,
because that's what we were talking about at the tea, whenever we had tea last week or 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago? Yeah. We were just talking about just different things that they could do in their company, and we were talking about the newborn thing, and I saw that you posted that, and I'm like, that is one of the hardest and best like phases in life, because you're not sleeping when you have a newborn baby.
No, you're not.
But you're also like, your hormones. I mean,
yeah,
that is like
no one tells you about that side, right?
Nobody tells you. And so you have the overwhelming part of that, and then you're also healing, and then if you also have other kids at home, the list goes on. And then some people don't have that like dreamy delivery of everything went well. And so, I had another girl on this podcast that
has anyone had a dreamy delivery?
Some people do, yes.
That's nice.
But some people have NICU babies and have babies that are they're having one child at home, one child's in the NICU, or unfortunately some people don't get to bring those children home. And so just being able to, we were just kind of talking about what's the most helpful thing in that season,
right?
Because you're truly not thinking, like, it's like you can't, all you're doing is trying to keep this person alive,
right? Well, and I think that's one thing about Sparkl that I have found you really don't. The definition of an expert is just someone that knows more than you. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
So you're an expert at podcasting because you know more than I do.
Definitely not an expert, but
to me you are.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not the true definition, but it's just someone that knows more than you. So someone coming in and just doing it, like, just do it. Take it off my plate. Like,
yes.
I just need someone so I don't have to make one more decision.
Yes.
And so when you're, you have a newborn baby, especially when you have other children at home.
Yes.
And you've already filled mom guilt because you're with a newborn all the time and you miss your toddler, you miss your other child. Just have someone that can come in like, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, go take a nap. Like, I will, and when you wake up, the bottles will be clean.
Yes.
You know, all the leftovers in your fridge will be thrown away. Your diaper pail will be emptied. Just all those little tasks that someone else can probably do in 3 hours. But when you're a new, mom that just had a baby, when do you have 3 uninterrupted hours to do anything?
And truly, you don't know the need unless you've been there, I feel like.
Yes.
Or unless God just like gives you this supernatural like discernment and wisdom that people need this specific thing. Because I feel so bad for the people that had kids before I did. Because I was like, I just came over there and I'm like, I want to hold the baby. And like, I was not helpful to her. I'm like, everyone out there that had babies before me, I'm so sorry. Because now I'm like, can I wash your dishes? Can I do something? Can I make you a lunch? This is so funny. This is so off topic. I'm so sorry. No, but this is just how, like, if we were having lunch, this is how it would go.
I'm drinking my coffee while you drink your tea.
One of my friends had a baby she's going to be 2 years ago. And her husband has a gluten allergy. Like a for real one, And
not a fake one?
Yeah, not a fake one, a for real one. So when I'm making all this food, I'm just thinking of her, truly. I'm not thinking of him, which I should have, And I'm making these like protein balls that one of my friends had made me whenever I had Cooper that sometimes you don't eat. And you're like, have I eaten?
Yes, and like grabbing and go. That is such a gift that you can just.
Yes. Well, I made her these protein balls with like real oats in them.
Oh, nice.
And he had them. I was like, oh my, she said, he was sick or whatever, like didn't feel good for a few days. I was like, I am so sorry. But I was not thinking about you, I was thinking about her.
Yeah, sorry. She had the baby, not you.
Oh, no.
You'll survive.
I was like, I probably would not be a good sparkler if we had to make snacks for people. I'd have to think of everyone in that household. But I thought that was so funny. I was like, oh my gosh. But it's just helpful to like when people would make me lunch.
Yes.
Or like a breakfast or something like that. Like nobody thinks of stuff like that.
I had someone make me a quiche and it was pre-sliced. So I could just pop out a slice and just microwave it. And that was so great because like you said, you don't have any time.
No.
And you also don't want to make like, it sounds so, but just like that overwhelming of what am I going to eat, making that decision.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Just put it in front of me.
What I put together. And speaking of AI, when you said you can like look anything up, the other day I literally typed in like the 5 ingredients I had in my refrigerator, and I was like, "Can you make a dinner out of this?"
And it did.
And it did.
It's amazing.
And it was good. I was like, "Okay, this is great."
It's crazy.
I'm like, I love ChatGPT. This is crazy.
I love it too. I think it's highly entertaining.
It is. It is. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get off on that.
No, I didn't even know what we're talking about.
I was like, we're talking about newborns, and then we go into
it's just people needing help. I mean, that's just it. Like, we all need help. And also, as a mom, like, it is a very thankless job, right? No one is telling you, hey, thanks for folding my clothes the right way. Thank you for packing my lunch. Thank you for cutting my sandwich into little triangles today. No one's saying thank you for that. But if you're doing it for someone else and you're helping someone, they are thankful and they are grateful. And if I feel like so many of us are searching honestly for our purpose. I mean, that's the number one reason they say like depression that causes depression is lack of purpose. Yeah. Right. And our purpose changes and it evolves, but if you can't do anything else but you can help someone, that's gonna bless you just as much as it's gonna bless them.
It's so true.
Like we're made to serve others. I mean, we just are, and I think that has been like truly like a shining light like through all of this is people were just like that was such a blessing to them but also to me. It made me feel like our friend Caitlin, whose back is hurt right now and she's got 2 little boys, and she was like, I just need someone to come help me like clean my house because I can't. Just being able to find that person on a safe place, and that was another side of it. It all started because I with my closet. I mean, I need to take a picture of my closet, but it wasn't horrible. It wasn't like an episode of Hoarders, but wasn't exactly great.
Right.
And I called around and it was going to be $150 an hour with a 4-hour minimum to use a company to have my closet organized.
What?
Now, if I had the money, I'm telling you, I would have done it. Like, I think having a home organizer is great.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to put that on Facebook. Hey, my closet is a disaster. Who can,
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do that. And so I have this friend named Jenny, and y'all, she is amazing. She can like see a space, and she's helped me several times. Just, it's not like, I'm like, I have the hangers, I have the things. I don't want all new hangers. She just helps me make it better.
Yeah.
And I called her and I was like, hey, I'm going to pay you because it's your time.
Yeah.
And you should get paid for your time because you could be doing something else with this time. And will you just come help me? I mean, I was home and we took everything out of my closet. We held up all these clothes, and it was great because I would say like, do you think I should keep that? And she would, she'd be like, so sweetly, not my favorite.
Yeah. Yes.
But just having someone to just help me do it. And now, I'm able to maintain it. But that's another side of it. You can figure out how to organize anything you want. Get on Pinterest, get on Instagram, get on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but I'm sure you can find out how.
I'm sure.
You can do it. You just don't have the time to do it.
Right.
Or you may just not want to.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at it, but I could figure it out.
Yeah.
It's not one of, and that's just it. I mean, like you said, with AI, I can type it in. It's going to tell me exactly how to do it.
Yes.
I just don't want to spend my time doing it.
But it's like, time.
Yeah.
And so, like, say somebody wants to do, like, okay, I would love somebody to come and organize my house, or I would love somebody to come and clean my house. So, do people give you guys a budget? Like, how much is it? How do y'all?
Okay, so it ranges. So we truly have, and that's kind of the whole point is, I want everyone to be able to get help. And that looks different for everybody, but also everybody has a different price range, and everybody has a different budget, and also everybody has different like time constraints of when they can get the help. So you go to the Home Sparkl, and you truly just type in what you need, and then that gets sent out to all of our sparklers, and then they bid on the job.
Oh.
So now there's two ways. They can either bid hourly, so like, if you organizing is one that's pretty much hourly.
Yeah.
So you could say, and it ranges. The average price is about $30 an hour.
Okay.
Which, for 4 hours, I mean that's decent money. But also, it's not $150 an hour. Now we do have companies that also run the Home Sparkl. So if you're like, hey, I want the bins, I want them color coded, I want them to measure. We also have that option. So it's nice. We have all shapes and sizes. But then the sparklers get sent to you through an email, and you select whoever you want to come. And then as soon as you select them, y'all's phone numbers get exchanged.
Oh.
So then they can communicate with you, and, because a lot of times people don't care when it's done, they just need it done.
Yeah.
So they'll say, I'm not available on this day, but I can come. Or I can come 2 hours Monday, I can come 2 hours Wednesday, and if I'm not finished, I'll come back Friday.
Yeah.
That's
really cool. That's cool that they can like bid on it and stuff.
Yeah, so they see the exact job, they see the location, and then there's some details that they don't see until they actually get selected.
Right.
Because that's a safety thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have the say. Like, you get to choose who's coming in your home and, how much you want to spend. Hopefully, and they all have a profile. So you can click on them and see their profile. You can see a little bit about them, their experiences. And hopefully those profiles will have reviews soon, so you can see, like,
How many do y'all have right now on Sparklers?
Total, I think we have 34.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, y'all been busy from what I've seen on like your Instagram. I've been following y'all.
Yeah, so we are brand new. We started in January.
Yeah.
And
it's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's April now that we're recording this, and it's like taken off within the past like 3 weeks to me. If not, to me, watching from the outside.
Well, okay, what's funny is, so in January, I'm like, okay, Carly, so Tommy's advice, and this is my advice for anyone, if you want to start something, just get started. It's going to be messy. You're going to feel like you have no idea what you're doing. But like, if you're fearful, if you're scared, it's because you're doing something, right? Like it's fearful to walk into a new church. It's fearful to go to college, but like it's because you're doing something.
Do you think the biggest challenge was starting it, or do you like what is the biggest challenge like through this whole thing so far?
Learning as I go and adapting and modifying and changing.
Yeah.
Because what I thought it was a cleaning app, right?
Yeah.
In my mind, I was developing a cleaning app where you could go, put a time and a date, and a cleaner would come to your house. Which I would still love that, honestly.
Yeah.
But that's not going to, like, no, stay-at-home mom's going to have a mop or broom or vacuum in the back of her car.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not.
That's true.
But they have other gifts that they can give. And like I said, you can find a cleaning company. Do I still think that could be, I just think it's a little archaic, the way that, like, the cleaning system works. But it works. I mean,
you're improving it, girl.
Well, and there's a huge industry. I mean, everyone needs, like, from offices to new buildings to Airbnbs. I mean, everybody needs cleaners.
Yeah.
And that was another side of it too. I thought, if something happened to my husband, there's really good money in cleaning.
Yes.
Like very good money in cleaning houses if you do a good job.
Yeah.
That I don't think people truly understand.
So how's the dynamic? I know we've talked about this like outside of here, and share whatever you want, but the dynamic of starting a new business when you were staying at home, and that was like your sole like purpose. That was your soul where everything went into. Now you are starting a business which takes a lot of time and energy. And I know you were like, Charlie's like, hello,
I know,
talk to me. So how have y'all managed like that? Like y'all's relationship, still being a mom while also starting this business? Because that's hard.
I will say the hardest thing right now with all of it is like not letting it be my idol.
Yeah.
Because it consumes so much of my thoughts.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly like, how can I improve? How can I make it better? How can I contact this person? How can I, but I also have to know, like, God's led me. I mean, truly, like, I could sit here for 6 hours and tell you all the little bitty details He's created to open doors. So I know He just keeps, like, fulfilling me, I guess, in a way that I didn't know that would be sustainable otherwise. But no, I mean, my husband definitely had a hard time in the beginning. I mean, but it was more so like, I think it's not that I wasn't available, or it was more my thoughts, right? Like you're saying, like I was just constantly, like at night the kids would go to bed. Well, what would I do? I was developing my business plan, rearranging things. And then I'm talking to men all day long because that is one thing about this is it's definitely a man's world. Like developing a software program and a website, they're men, which is great. But that's kind of intimidating. And he's used to just me offering to make him lunch every day. I'm like, please come eat lunch with me. He's calling me and I can't talk. So I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm on a call. I'm busy. I'm talking to a client. I'm interviewing someone. But I think the most important thing is I could not do this without him.
Yeah.
Like I just couldn't. Like there were days like today, he took the kids to school so I could, and I don't know. I've supported him so with his business. I mean, you know what it's like.
Yes.
And he's been there, and I think that helps. Like when he started State Farm, probably 3 years ago, he had never logged into the software program the day he started.
I remember Morgan telling me that. I was like, what?
Like he had never made an auto or a home quote before he started, and so he knows that it's just so overwhelming because you don't know what you're doing. I mean, you just don't, but you figure it out. And he also was an attorney, so he went to law school and passed the bar and hated law. But there's been a lot of things where I'm like, hey, help me write terms and conditions. Help me with a privacy policy. Help me with my, my business insurance, which I do have other attorneys, but he's he's guided me.
So I know he's very proud of you. He's told more than that for sure.
Well, I'm proud of him, but I think he knows how much I need him right now.
Yeah.
It's a different need.
Yes.
Like, it's a different need than what I had before, you know. But, you know, my girls, the one thing that's really been hard is I'm on my phone all the time. All the time.
Because you're working from your phone, like
I'm
you
working
said,
from
right?
my own. I'm checking the jobs that come in. I'm checking to make sure invoices are paid. I'm contacting people. I mean, and I hate that. Like, I don't want my children to see my face in my phone. So I have to constantly say, like, I'm working right now. You know, and a lot of times I make phone calls on the way to pick them up from school because I'm finally in my car sitting down.
Yes.
But they're important phone calls, you know. And, you know, right before they get the car, I'm like, okay, I got to go. My kids are getting in. And I hang up real quick. And, you know, I've told them a couple of times, like, thank you for giving me grace that I'm so busy. But, you know, it really is. One thing, too, though, is just work smarter. You know, I mean, honestly, I probably work like 6 hours a day. And then when they go to bed, about 2 hours at night. But I'm not, you know, my son only goes to school 9 to 1.
Yeah.
So that's hard.
That is hard.
I mean, I'll have 4 hours of
just you time.
To
get stuff done.
To get anything done. And get my protein in and get how much water am I supposed to drink? And my 10,000 steps. I'm like, okay.
And clean your house.
And clean my own house and do my own laundry.
Yes.
It is very expensive to develop software and develop a website. So
I'm sure. But y'all are killing it. I mean, seriously, I'm so proud of you. This is awesome.
Thank you. Well, it's funny. So when we started in January, Carly and I were Sparkl. So the way that the software works now, someone called us, they needed a job filled. We would call all of our Sparklers, get their schedule. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it started. Is I was kind of the girl that, like, if you needed something done, I could find someone to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I was like, how can I make this better? Like, if you needed someone to paint a sign, oh, my friend Lily can paint a sign. You need toys put together before Christmas, Claire can put toys together for Christmas. Like, I always had a girl that could do things. And anyways, so in January, Carly and I were solely like, how do we make money? Like, how do we do this as a job and even make any kind of income? Like, we can't keep doing this. And then, you know, just interviewing software developers. Like, you know, your team's your foundation. So we had to make sure our team was really strong. And that's another thing that God's really just opened the doors with all of that and just like kind of sustaining me from like, you can do this on your own. Like, you don't need investors and you don't need, I need help. But
y'all have a good solid team.
We do. Yeah, right now.
So what would you say, like, as far as, I know you've probably already said it, but just to kind of like sum it all up, like, what would you say you want someone to experience when they do experience the Home Sparkl?
I want them to say that it was a blessing. Like, I want it to be a blessing on both sides. You know, I have moms that are truly working on the Home Sparkl to pay for their summer vacation. Because where else are you going to get flexibility? Pick up jobs that fit your schedule.
Yes.
Make extra money for your family. You know, and also help you know, get the purpose fulfillment of helping someone. It's just really hard to find that. And so that's such a blessing but also on the flip side, the moms, and I keep saying moms, the people, most of them have been moms just because that's kind of, you know, my community.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, the moms are like, this has been such a weight off my shoulders. I just want it to be a blessing. For as many people as it can touch.
Well, it is, and I think it has blessed a lot of people. And I think y'all have a great idea, and it's going to keep growing. And
sweet, thank you.
I mean, I'm excited to see these like people decorating stuff for Christmas and
I know. Hey,
fall front porches, pumpkins, you know, all the things.
Well, and that's just it too. Like, these people, a lot of these people going to help don't realize the why they need help.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of it's kind of heavy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had a lady that wants to decorate Christmas trees because she's an empty nester now, and she's like, I have no one to decorate a tree for. So I'd love to go help a family decorate the tree.
Yes. So just the heart behind why they want to work or why they even need something done in the first place.
Right. You know, my friend Maggie said, do for one person what you wish you could do for the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like my everyday. Like, if I can just help this one person, then they'll be a better person. You know, they'll be a better mom, a better friend, a better coworker.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so since this is tea time with Dagan, I ask everybody.
Okay.
So I don't even know, do you like sweet tea?
I knew you were going to ask me this.
A lot of people in season 1 do not. So it's okay.
I do like sweet tea.
There is no judgment.
I like half and half.
Okay.
Half sweet, half unsweet. But I am a tea girl. I love tea. In the winter, you will find me with
like hot tea.
Hot tea all the time.
That's your favorite form of tea.
That is my favorite form of tea.
I do like hot tea. When we had tea at the Lanier house, that was so good.
That was so good.
Wasn't this the third one that was like citrusy? I don't know.
I have no idea. They all run together, but I like them all.
No. So not a big sweet tea girl.
Not. I mean, I do like tea, but not. It can't be too sweet.
I understand.
It hurts my stomach if it's too sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I drink a lot of coffee these days, man. Can you tell?
What are you drinking right now? See, I'm not a coffee person.
I'm drinking an iced latte with 1 pump of hazelnut and oat milk. And I don't think oat milk is good for you, but I really like the taste, so I'm here for it.
Yeah. Me and my trusty large sweet tea right here.
Well, I mean, you can't get any better than a Chick-fil-A tea.
I know. That's the best. That's what I ask people at the end is like, what's the best sweet tea you've ever had?
I will say my favorite thing from Chick-fil-A is the Sunjoy. Do you know what that is? It's their take on an Arnold Palmer. It's half, well, I get diet, so it's half unsweet tea and diet lemonade. But you could get like sweet tea lemonade. Okay. So it's like not as sweet. Yeah, but like in the
summer. But the lemonade
lemonade
makes it sweet, I'm sure.
Yeah, the lemonade makes it sweet. But in the summer, there's nothing better than a Sunjoy. Get one. Sunjoy from Chick-fil-A.
So unsweet tea though?
You can get it with sweet. It's just really
lemonade is so sweet though.
Yeah, that's why you need unsweet tea with lemonade.
Okay, I may try that. I may try small.
Branch out, do it, Dagan.
Small cup.
How dare you?
I'm like, hesitant. Can I have a sip? They would probably all, because this is how ridiculous it is. I mean, the Athens one, they just like know me. And they'd probably all look at me like, are you okay? Because when I was like new pregnant and I was like getting sick all the time, I could not drink tea.
Yes.
And like, this is like new that I've started drinking it again.
I can see that.
And I went to the drive-thru and I was like, I need a large iced water. I'm like, are you okay? That's how bad it is. I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to fast this.
That's okay.
It's bad thing of me.
Hey, if that's the worst thing you're doing is drinking a large sweet tea, you're doing good, sister.
I know. Well, thank you for being on this.
Thanks for having me.
I loved it. It was so fun. I felt like I learned a lot, and I feel like people will too. Y'all check the Home Sparkl out. No E on the end of Sparkle. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's spelled so cute. Well, it's because we're trying to trademark it, and Sparkle's paper towels. It sure is. Yeah. I forgot about that.
But you don't need the E. Like, we don't need the E to spell Sparkle.
No. And I'll link all your stuff whenever this comes out. But
it was so great.
Thank you
for having me. And if anyone ever wants to start a business platform, tell them to call me.
I know. I'm like, which business should I start? I'm going to get Katrina to help me out.
I don't know. I'm going to take that part, but I'll walk you through the steps.